I figured, it's always fun at the beginning of the year to make some predictions.
Here are my top 3 predictions for Amazon FBA in 2020. Number 1. Amazon will cater more for sellers with brands, supporting them with better tools and better visibility in the catalogue. If we have a look at the recent introduction of tools that were only available to brand registered sellers, such as Brand Analytics, the Amazon Attribution Tool, and then the introduction of the IP Accelerator service, Amazon is leaning more towards supporting sellers with brands. Brands are generally able to charge a higher price for their product. Brands have a following, which brings new customers to Amazon. And through that following, that loyal customer base, generally the average lifetime value of that customer is much higher, meaning that customer is coming back time and time again to buy products from their brand. All of this means increased revenues, increased commissions, and increased profit for Amazon. Brands also generally go a lot further towards customer service and ensuring the quality of their product, which is everything Amazon stands for, putting their customer first. And Amazon's in some pretty hot water right now with all the fake review scandals, the antitrust investigations. So doing this, bringing brands, quality brands that look after their customer and deliver a quality experience and a quality product, justifies and supports their mission of putting the customer first and ensuring that they maintain that trust with their customer base in their platform. It also goes a long way to sort of stamping out these third-party sellers like the Chinese sellers who are there fraudulently taking advantage of the platform by attracting these much more credible brands. Introducing the Amazon Attribution Tool, something that was long overdue, was a step in that direction, as Amazon knows that for brands to take Amazon seriously, the marketplace seriously, marketing managers and brands have to be able to attribute sales to their marketing activity. So that was a really good sign. I see more tools, better tools, and more improvements upon existing tools coming out in 2020. So what does this mean for you as a seller? Well, the main takeaway here is if you're not already, you need to get serious about building a brand. Consider who you're serving, what audience, what person are you serving and selling to, and develop out a range of products that cater to a specific audience. This will not only make your life a lot easier when it comes to launching new products, but because you're talking to a specific audience, your target audience for your brand, it's going to show up in your listings conversion rates. That's ultimately going to lead to better PPC performance. Combination of organic visibility and PPC performance is going to lead to improved rankings and then overall more sales for you and more profit in your pocket. So if you're not already, think about who it is you're selling to, what their needs are, what their problems are, and develop out a brand that communicates specifically to your customer. And then focus your future product releases on products that complement each other to develop a range under that brand. And then get yourself registered with Brand Registry using Amazon's new IP Accelerator service. We recently used it. It was really good, really quick, really easy. And as a bonus tip for existing sellers that already have Brand Registry and might have switched off by now, do not ignore this comment. If you haven't already, you need to trademark your brand in China. China's laws are different. It's not the first to be approved who gets the trademark, it's the first to file. And there is a big movement in China right now, registering up hundreds of Western brands and then using that registration to take the brand on Amazon. I was recently involved in helping a good friend fight this, who lost their entire account for a number of months because Amazon all of a sudden kicked them off their own brand. So make sure that you get that trademark registered in China. And if you need help doing that, if you connect with me personally, and at the end of the video I give you my details, I will introduce you to Titan's own legal office in China who can do that for a few $100s. Prediction number 2. Amazon will continue to take control of their customer, protecting them against fake reviews and manipulation of the platform. This year, we've seen a number of restrictions get implemented. From the buyer-seller messaging system getting more restricted, and then Amazon replacing that with sort of done-for-you tools such as the request a review button. So you have no real parameters to contact directly, but you can still get that function complete. Clarifying customer reviews and customer ratings on the platform. More recently, we've seen them state specifically what country the reviews have come from. Amazon are continually getting negative media attention for the way they're treating their staff and also the way the platform, the marketplace operates. Recently, they've moved their own brand's placements from within the catalogue. The Amazon Basics used to get its own featured placement in search results. That was removed a few days ago. All of this is likely their response to the antitrust investigations, but more importantly, the scandal of fake reviews. People's trust in Amazon is dropping because they can't trust the reviews on the platform. So as we move forward into 2020, I predict Amazon will continue to restrict your ability as a seller to communicate with the buyer, because in Amazon's eyes, that buyer is not your customer, it's theirs. They need to control the customer's experience, and then to support that, they're going to do everything they can with some sweeping actions to stamp out fake reviews and review manipulation on the platform. So Facebook and ManyChat was the big theme of 2019. Everyone picked up on it, everyone started building those lists. But with the introduction of changes coming in March from Facebook, you need to get smart about how you're nurturing that relationship and continuing to stay top of mind with that list. If you want to then build an organic following, Instagram's where it's at. Start taking it seriously, start putting effort and budget towards building that audience that you can leverage in the future for your brand. Prediction number 3. Amazon will increasingly become more of a pay-to-play platform. Just as Google did, it's going to prioritize advertising placements in its catalog, specifically video, and continue to improve and release tools that give sellers clarity and confidence in spending more money on advertising with Amazon. We've recently seen the introduction of video in search ads, currently in beta, going to be a goldmine. Amazon have opened up its DSP, its catalog of display advertising across the internet, known as sponsored display. Not great for cold acquisition of customers, as they only convert around 1%, but great for retargeting, and I see them improving the ability to control and customize these this year. The introduction of the search term report, now displaying within the campaign manager inside of Seller Central instead of having to go and download it. All of this is indication that Amazon wants to give sellers as much support, clarity in the numbers, and confidence to spend more on the platform. They've also prioritized placements of advertising in organic search results, with very few organic results now actually showing above the fold on the bottom of that screen in the results. So the main takeaway for you here is, although PPC is a big stress, it's a trigger for most sellers. Yes, it's complicated, it can be confusing, and the mistakes can be very costly. But with the right understanding, the right framework, and the right approach, PPC and paid advertising is the fuel that is going to drive success on Amazon. As Amazon continues to restrict its messaging capability, stamp out fake reviews, prioritize sellers with brands, supporting with more advanced tools, insight, data to be able to make more informed decisions, and then prioritizing advertising placements both in and externally to Amazon.
The best predictors of the immediate future is the immediate past. My number one prediction, the most important thing when doing an Amazon business will be the fundamentals of selling products on the internet. The fundamentals are great product, great price, great brand with a solid demand. So another prediction I have is that states will continue to collect more sales tax for us. This is a good thing for us. Sales tax the last 3 years has been a huge headache, and it's been very not exciting doing the whole sales tax. It's one of the things I literally lose sleep over, and it drives me insane. Luckily, at this point, I believe there's 28 states that are collecting sales tax for us in the high 20s. There's going to be more doing the same thing. So luckily for us, we're going to have less risk on us because we won't have to be collecting as much sales tax. Next prediction, PPC or Amazon pay-per-click will be king. It's already king and it will continue to be king. Amazon wants to be the top advertiser in the world, and they're already number 3 for digital ads, at least. They're already number 3, and they want to beat Google and Facebook, and they have a lot of room to grow, and they will want more ad revenue. Already, we're seeing something like 5 of the top 10 results are ad-based, so we're going to probably see more of that. I think Amazon's going to play around with it, and they might kind of scale up and maybe scale back a little bit when people start getting upset about how many ads there are. But I know they're definitely going to push the envelope a little bit and see how far they can get with that. So PPC is going to be king. Also, another prediction, reviews are going to be still really important, both to Amazon and to us. So Amazon's going to crack down even more on fake reviews. That's one of the 3 fundamentals of Amazon. It's a product selection, product delivery, and reviews, right? Deliver the prime shipping, right? And reviews. And that's like one of their most important things they have. And they're going to be very diligent about protecting their reviews and killing fake reviews. So please do not do non-TOS reviews. Another thing I want to say is, Alexa, Simon says voice is going to be even bigger in 2020.
Voice is going to be even bigger in 2020.
Voice, Echo device, the Google Assistant, Siri, whatever it is, all those things are going to be even bigger in the coming year. I know that Amazon has pushed hard on these Echo devices, and they are all about getting sales through it, wish list items. You know, they have like a to-do list and stuff like that. You might have noticed if you have one of these devices, when you buy a product, they will ask you to review that product via voice. Those are the 5 continued predictions. So here's the 5. First one is Amazon's going to take even more control of its customers. The seller, what I really mean is that the seller customer email platform is just going to go away. It's going to go away, or it's going to be completely neutered of any real substance to it. And that's the whole, like, I'm a small family, whatever, give me a review, please, right? They're just going to get rid of it. Or they're going to completely, it's going to be one email, maybe only 30% of us will have it, and they might only deliver it to some people who opt in, or whatever it is. It's going to go away. I think there's going to be some antitrust against Amazon, pro-seller politics coming up this year, especially in the election cycle. There are going to be some politicians who are going to be saying how big Amazon and Google and Facebook and all those different platforms are, and they're going to want to put more regulations on them. And just the threat of possibly putting more regulations on them, Amazon's going to be a little less aggressive in some of the things they do. And what I think in particular is suspension of accounts. Next one is that non-Amazon marketplaces are going to emerge as being a lot more impactful. I think Amazon's absolutely destroying it on e-commerce, and that Target and Walmart and a few other websites are going to start really taking more market share and try to be more aggressive in what they're doing. And they're going to offer some very non-profitable methods of doing that. For example, Walmart just might give you free 2-day shipping, or Target might offer big free promo, or they might give you $1,000 a month for advertising, just to get people more into it, more people coming in, more customers, and more sellers like us. So I think that actually be really beneficial for us. My 5th and final prediction is that launches are going to be mostly Amazon PPC and launching to a list. And a list will either be your own list, your own mailing list, your own ManyChat list, your own social media page, whatever it is, either your list or an influencer's list. I think that's going to be a big thing. Like if you go to an influencer and say, hey, we're going to give away 100 of these units or 40 of these units. Do you want to participate? It's a $2,000 giveaway. And we're going crazy in the next 2 weeks. Do you want to participate? And like, we want some pictures from you and push it. I think you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be excited about that. And why not?
"2020 is going to be an interesting year for Amazon sellers. I think we're going to see a pretty big change in a few different areas, not only on Amazon, but also within the seller community. So the first thing that I want to kind of point out, or that I think is going to happen in the next year, is we're going to see some clear changes to the terms of service in regards to product reviews, and maybe even contacting the customer in general. We've seen Amazon constantly change the review policy over and over and over again. And what it seems like they're doing now, what they're pushing towards, is actually getting to a place where they control that process 100%. The seller will have no ability whatsoever to ask for a review, except through that little button on the orders page that Amazon has been rolling out. And I think the reason they're doing this is so when you look and you consider okay, what's been going on? The Marketplace Facilitator Act, or whatever it was, that law that says Amazon now has to collect and pay sales tax on behalf of the seller, or technically just on behalf of themselves at this point. that was Amazon's incentive to give us customer data. So they're saying, oh no, they're the seller and they've got customer blah, blah, blah. Now we don't have that. Amazon can technically say, we don't need you guys whatsoever. Keep providing us stuff. We control that entire relationship and you're out. And so one of the things I think we're going to see is a very clear definition come out in the terms of service stating you cannot ask for reviews, period, unless it is through Amazon's approved method, which at the present moment is going to be that little button that you see at the top of your orders page. So that's kind of prediction number one. And I also think we're going to see a shift from just the follow-up messages that we currently send. I think those are just going to be wiped out completely. People still ask for reviews or incentivize reviews through the Amazon's platform. How they get away with it, I don't know. But it'll be much easier if Amazon was like, nope, you guys don't get to contact the customer, period, unless it's in regards to a customer issue, order problem, or whatever. And you may think that's crazy, but that's how Walmart operates. That's how a lot of other marketplaces operate. They own the customer, you own nothing. And I think Amazon's going to follow suit. I think coupon codes are going to be something that we just stopped doing altogether. We've already seen this happening over the past year or two, that coupon codes are becoming less and less and less effective. And I think at some point we're going to see Amazon just like, these have no effect on ranking whatsoever. Because why would it, right? I mean, yes, there are customers or companies out there that use coupon codes regularly, not to manipulate anything. But a large portion of sellers do try to manipulate keyword ranking and things like that through the use of coupon codes. And I think we're just going to see Amazon make those less effective. I think that's going to also be true for links. So the keyword URL links like two-step URL, storefront URL, super URLs, we're already seeing those become less effective as well. They still work. We still use those occasionally, and we find that they do help with ranking. But I think we're going to see that go away, and it's going to be kind of pointless. And as a result, I think we're going to see the successful sellers actually turn completely away from anything with a link and anything with a coupon code. We're going to stick strictly to search, find, buy. And what we're finding with search, find, buy is like 2 to 4 weeks is all it takes to get to the top of page one. Not very difficult. As opposed to taking, month, 2 month, 3 months using coupon codes and other rebates like 50% rebates and things like that. So I think we're going to see a major shift in sellers getting away from the old way of doing things and wisen up to just doing it correctly the first time and going after the search, find, buy methodology. As we're going to see sellers actually start just hacking their PPC budget in half and spend it outside of Amazon. And I'm not necessarily talking about Facebook or Instagram ads like your traditional stuff. I think we're going to have see sellers find some really unique ways to drive traffic to Amazon. We already know that driving outside traffic to Amazon benefits your listing. It benefits a lot of different things. Amazon likes it when you do that. They tend to give you a boost. It's unconfirmed, but we can pretty much say that's true. So I think we're going to see that shift. As PPC gets more expensive, I think we're going to see sellers find other alternatives that are, quite frankly, might be more effective.
I've got 2 predictions for you today. My first prediction is that we will see a rise of sellers seeking to innovate and differentiate their products. Now, when most of us started selling on Amazon, the trend has been to just find products that are already selling and copy them. As we all know, this has been known as Me Too products, and it's worked for a lot of people for a long time. However, with the number of new sellers that are coming onto the platform every day, I just think that the best way for us to stand out is for us to truly offer our customers something different. But I just want you guys to remember that being first to market almost always gives you a competitive advantage. So it's definitely worth doing, especially if you hit it out of the park. Guys, I know it takes more time and there's definitely more risk involved because you're not launching an exact like-for-like proven model. If you're able to figure out how to do this for your target customer, you're really going to see a huge difference in your overall business. Now, for my second prediction. Guys, this is not a sexy topic or a ninja topic. I want to talk to you a bit about how Amazon has been a lot more aggressive and consistent requiring certifications and testing compliance, and also my prediction that they're going to start asking for proof of product liability insurance. Now, if you've been paying attention this last year, there has already been a big rise of Amazon randomly suspending listings until a seller could prove that they had all the required testing done. and that testing was done in their own brand name. Guys, that's the important bit right there. For a long time as buyers from the factories, sellers on Amazon, we've just been getting the generic certification from the factory stating that the product has been tested, if we got any certification at all. And I'm letting you know here today that if that's what you have and you get suspended, that is not going to be enough to get your suspension lifted. You need to have the testing done in your own brand name. So if you're going to take the time and expense of launching and ranking a product, then please go ahead and get your product tested and make sure that it's going to pass certifications. It's the right thing to do, and also it's going to protect you if Amazon comes knocking on your door.
Take a look at this meme. What are y'all gonna get from Target? Target will tell me when I get there. We think of Amazon as a search-driven platform, and it is. But the moves that Amazon has been making over the past couple months and the past year show us more and more that Amazon is trying to drive customer browsing behavior. Look at how much energy Amazon has put into storefronts, how much energy it's put into new initiatives like Amazon Live, how much energy it's put into Amazon's influencer program. Everything that we do as Amazon sellers is driven around search. We're trying to get search ranking. We're targeting different keywords for search for PPC. Did you know that more than 3 times as many impressions from Amazon ads actually comes from inside listings, not search results? More than 3 times. And that number is probably going to continue. Amazon wants you to come to the platform as a buyer and to click around and get caught into a click hole until you've filled up the cart with stuff, and then you check out with as high a cart ticket price as possible. Now, as all of the sellers are still focusing on search-driven strategies like ranking, like search-driven PPC, if you can jump ahead of the game, see where Amazon is going, and know that Amazon wants to be just like Target in that meme. I came to Amazon and I let Amazon tell me what I needed to get. If you see that ahead of time, you can start to drive your strategy and your tactics around customer browsing behavior and what Amazon is trying to drive in terms of browsing, buying.
I'm calling this year the year of influence. I believe that building social proof away from Amazon is going to be key to every Amazon seller's success over the course of the next year. As we know, consumers are getting more intelligent and like to verify they're making a good purchase by validating your product and your brand in a number of ways away from Amazon. It's no longer, as was widely reported a couple of years ago, 6 to 8 touch points before somebody makes a buying decision. In a recent blog post on Think with Google, the company shared examples of purchase paths for different products, and according to the post, the number of touch points Google identified for each buying journey was around 20. While influencer marketing isn't something brand new for 2020 and people have been doing this stuff for years, I think that in 2020 there will be a growing trend towards working with influencers in a more brand ambassador capacity instead of one-off campaigns. Another thing is that the average consumer is aware of potential fake reviews more than ever due to articles being released and the news reporting review manipulation, particularly on Amazon. However, watching a video of somebody that you look up to, aspire to be like, can be much more powerful than chasing the number of those 5 little golden stars that we all seem to have been doing over the last few years. But how do we legally get reviews? Sales. So why not look to influencers to drive sales so we can catch up on the reviews of our competitors, particularly during launch, which I'll come on to. As well as competition with reviews, we're also seeing competition with pricing. We know there's a lot of Chinese factories making their own Amazon accounts and coming over and driving the price point down across categories and niches, making it very difficult to compete, stay ranked, and still make a profit on those sales that you're making. But with the endorsement of influencers, we've already sold the product, or at least have the customer very interested and trusting your brand before landing on Amazon. This results in higher conversion rates, but more importantly, allows us the opportunity to charge a premium price. Coming back to launch, in 2019, everyone was talking about ManyChat and building a list of passionate followers that can help you launch. But usually what we do is we go through heavy discounts, coupon codes and rebates. But gaining the loyalty and trust sometimes of these people isn't always that easy. By leveraging a relevant influencer's audience, you already have a group of warm leads to send to your product and create that buzz before launch, allowing you to offer a much lower discount percentage, if any. Just to finish off, one question I get asked is, isn't it expensive using influencers? Because people automatically think of Kardashians and sports stars. But to give you an idea, an Instagram influencer charges around $100 for every 10,000 followers they have. So the key is making sure that their audience is your perfect customer and they're hyper relevant to the products that you're selling. In fact, other studies have shown that influencer marketing has produced an average of $6.50 for every dollar invested. So my prediction for 2020 is an influx of influencer marketing. Don't be left behind.
My prediction is basically around branded content. I think Amazon is going to double down on branded content this year. They've already shown a lot of signs of doing that through some of the features they've put out on the site. Obviously, we've seen A+ content. They've had that rolled out for a while now. Last year, or maybe in the last 18 months, they've given us the ability to upload our own videos for content that can show up under our listing and things like that. Now you're starting to see video ads, betas, so sponsored ads with video, and then also Amazon Posts, which is sort of like an Instagram feed, things you can upload pictures and content that way as well. So they're really trying to invest in creating a branded experience for even the small brands out there. And I think it does two things for Amazon. One, it helps with engagement. The simple breakdown is the longer someone stays engaged on the site, the more likely they are to buy a product, which is good for Amazon. Also, it's good for us. So it's a win-win there. And the second thing I think it does is sort of preventative maintenance. I think that they're really trying to focus on brands because it also weeds out some of the people trying to game the system that only work on algorithms, that don't really have a customer or problem they're trying to solve in mind. They're just on the platform to sort of manipulate the system and make money, aka maybe Chinese sellers and things like that. I think it's very, very hard to replicate a branded experience, a brand feeling or vibe that a brand can put out. I think it's very important to have a customer avatar in mind when you're creating your brand. And I think Amazon's basically creating all of these different assets on the platform so that you can take advantage of and speak to your customer the right way. So the notes I would take out of this is, if you're starting a brand, or if you have a brand, whether you have one product or 100 products, make sure you have your customer avatar. You know who you're trying to speak to. You know what problems you're trying to solve. You know what feeling you're trying to put out there, and really double down on trying to get differentiation videos, customer testimonials, benefits and features videos, and you'll really set yourself up to be able to take advantage of these new features rolling out with Amazon, and you'll ride that wave into the next few years and see a lot of success.
Unfortunately, in 2020, I predict many sellers will get knocked out the game because they don't keep up, they don't play Amazon's game, they don't take developing a brand seriously, they don't take building a relationship with an audience seriously, and they won't commit to learning advertising or PPC and how to leverage it in their business.
Over this past year especially, I've noticed there's a lot of people who are still trying to go at this business alone. And they're not considering the fact that there are thousands of other sellers at this point, and we have a wealth of knowledge. And the successful sellers out there, they're plugged into a community. They're plugged into a network of people who are just like them. They have an Amazon company, Amazon-based company, or whatever. They sell online, and they're trying to be successful. And the loners who are going to avoid that type of relationship piece, I think we're going to find out that those guys are just going to fall by the wayside.
Ultimately, to be successful in this business, you need to surround yourself with like-minded people. People are at the same level, and people who are ahead of you in the game, so that you don't have to spend valuable time and money figuring out what works, because generally by the time you figured that out, it's already changed.
So if you typically are a loner, I'd encourage you to join the pack. There's a bunch of us out here. We're making things happen, and that's going to be the way moving forward.
That's what Titan Network is, and I invite you to connect with me if you're interested. But for now, that's my 3 predictions for 2020 and being successful with Amazon FBA.
Really good talking to you guys. So looking forward to 2020.
Cheers.
We'll see you soon.